Hey guys, Jordan here. In this video, I'm going to be answering a real estate photography question. And that question is, what are some real estate photography tips in 2022? So going into this year, a lot of things that popped into my head recently, especially I think I've been thinking about it more lately now that the Mavic 3 has come out. And it's just like, I feel like technology-wise, we're at a point where, we have so many features already in existing gear. So I guess this would be a tip as to don't always go out and purchase the newest and greatest and latest tool, because I was thinking about this Mavic 3 and I'm one that will go out and buy anything, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to necessarily support that drone for real estate photography. Yes, you'll get maybe a 10% increase, but at what cost? It's like 3 or 4 times the cost of the Air 2S. So don't get caught up in the newest, latest, and greatest thing, unless this is what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for a camera to come out that you shoot, and it sees like the human eye with the dynamic range outside of the windows. Now, I do think it's important to invest in good equipment, have good tools that are going to make you efficient. And that's why I like to even use the new cards from Sony. They're really expensive, but transferring, it saves me a lot of time. But you don't necessarily need all that. And even I did a comparison of like a 10-year-old Canon 70D to the newest Sony A1 with the most advanced sensor. And it wasn't like night and day difference. There was probably an improvement of, I would say probably 30 to 25, 30% quality increase, but at what, 10 or 20 times the cost. So just kind of keep that in mind. I think it's important to keep what your customers want. Now, if you have a customer base that is leveraging that needs that 10%, which I would think 99% of customers don't really care. They just want a good end product, right? They don't really care what tools you use. Don't get caught up in always buying the latest and greatest. All right, so anyways, you can say that's a tip or not a tip. That's just kind of something that's been on the top of my mind. And then I would say here's a tip. If this would be for existing real estate photographers, and this would be just to continue to build relationships through email newsletters, because who knows what the market's going to do this next year. It's a little bit different. There's these iBuyers which have been purchasing more properties, and it's kind of a weird, it's been a really hot market. So anyways, I would say, but don't just because you have a lot of business coming in right now, maybe that is the case. You need to make sure that you're focused on your customers fundamentally, right? Building those relationships. And I think, those are just investments you can just put in the bank for future investing in your customers. So here's another, I guess, a photography tip is just to try to keep it simple and, find ways. This is something that I pretty much do every single year since I've started my business at the end of 2013, is to always look and try to figure out inefficiencies in your process, your shooting method, your editing method, your business overall. How can you save time, effort, energy, money? And I think just doing an analysis, and I think this is kind of really important going into 2022 or going into any year, is just to sit down and look, all right, how am I shooting? Are there variables that I could remove that isn't really going to impact quality? Same thing on the editing side of things. How about my support staff or me? Is it worth, bringing on somebody at $5 an hour so that they can help do email communication for me as a real estate photographer? I'm just thinking if you're a one-off real estate photographer, or just building a team around you so that you can actually do more work in the field, which ultimately is just more revenue. And anyways, so those are a lot of different I think I touched on a lot of different areas of the real estate photography business, but those are just some random tips going into 2022. If you are interested in learning more about me, I have a whole bunch of tips and tricks, whatever, everything else real estate photography related in my courses. You can check those out. You can also check out my free workshop. The link is in the description below. That's going to do it for this video. Reach out if you have any questions. We'll see you guys on the next one.